What's up, guys, and welcome back to That Chick Angel TV. It's me, That Chick Angel, and I am here with the rest of the balls and the beautiful.
Ball and the beautiful.
Hey,
What's happening,
we
fam?
in here. We've got Mrs. Kev on stage. We've got Kevin Fredericks, also known as Kev on stage, and we've got my hubby, Marcus Tank. Marcus ain't on the gram. And we are doing another mukbang. I'm going to try to let it be longer this time.
Yes, Angel. But Angel, tell them the truth now.
What?
Angel, I said make it longer. Angel checked the analytics. People was only watching 23 minutes, which is what the original one was.
Come on.
22. So it was Angel's like, shut up, Kev, because they be asking for longer, but then they'll be watching longer.
Watch the whole thing.
But in order to average, that means some people watch 30 and some people watch 10.
Right.
And people who are asking for longer is the people watching 30. Mm-hmm. Reward them, screw the 10s.
So I'm just telling y'all, I know my Patreon's gonna get the unedited version.
They gonna get the full thing. Angel wing.
Okay, so if y'all want that, y'all know where to go.
I got in trouble for eating early.
He already. So we're gonna jump in. We doing Mexican food today. We're starving. We're tired. So y'all gonna get what y'all get.
Y'all just listen. We had a day.
It's been a day, y'all.
It's almost 9 p.m.
Is it really?
Yes.
And
that's why we got this. That's why we got that.
Yes.
Oh, let me pour
me up, Marcus.
Oh, we should.
Pour it up. Now, I have never tried this. This is another Pinot Noir. Me and Liz really enjoyed our Pinot.
And I loved the beer last episode. Modelo, smooth.
So many beers went down our throats.
This is A to Z. The only reason why I got it is because it was a twist off top. That's true.
That's convenient.
That's
such
what
a
you
simple
asked me
reason.
for the last time. Make sure it was a twist off. I was like, oh, I got your favorite. With the last one was Naomi, right?
Yeah, Naomi was the
and
last
this
one.
right here is one of my very favorite bourbons of all time, Basil Hayden.
Does it have basil in it?
Yeah.
It's not spelled.
It ain't bourbon unless it's from Kentucky.
I figured you was a Kentucky thing.
It's a bourbon whiskey. Yeah.
Bourbon whiskey, yeah.
Okay.
But most bourbons are.
Pull me up.
I got you.
Because we know Kev, he loves the strong drinks.
I actually prefer that over beer.
Okay. Can you get
But you drinking it neat, straight?
We can get some ice.
Nah, I'm cool.
Splash of water.
Oh, now you're just using the knife to show off. I told Marcus he don't have to carry a knife around. He talking about I use it all the time. You did not need that. You could have did that without. You did not need. You be finding reasons to do that.
I can't get the top out.
And you be opening ketchup packets with the
Can't get the
knife.
top out.
Exactly.
Let me see. Open a box of cereal.
Just a knife list.
It's just literally.
I really can't get the top. There it is.
There it goes. It's coming up. There was a knife that he would traveled with that
Oh my God.
I was like, sir, you already know you can't. It was a big Crocodile Dundee type switchblade.
Lord, let me tell you something. Any alcohol where you could only get
and
and that's it.
That's how you just gonna sip it as you go.
Greg be carrying a knife too. That's y'all men from the south.
Apparently me and Greg are the same person.
Y'all are.
I'm even hearing it from Angel now. It's like,
Oh yeah,
y'all the same person.
Greg had me cracking up. That daggone building with Goose
Oh my God.
made me laugh so hard.
Professional.
Yeah.
We eat Mexican food if y'all can't tell. I don't know if we open with that.
I did. I
Oh,
said
okay.
that.
You did? Okay. I was so looking at the food so much.
And so today we're going to talk about. Let's where your food is.
I don't know.
Oh, I was like, what's all this food?
I just
This
took.
is yours.
Oh,
that's yours, man.
Just send me
I
the
know. More
carrot,
mine.
the spicy
I need a
carrots and
bunch.
stuff.
this be my favorite.
Yeah, this
It
you got
does.
the carne asada. I ordered a little bit of everything. Why? Yes, we're talking about why we actually love living in LA.
Why we love it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you all to think that we hate it 100%.
We just said the things we
Melissa
hate
said
about
she
LA.
does. Melissa said she does. No, she doesn't hate it completely. But the things that she does hate sometimes overshadows the things. All right, Chad, what do you love about
I'm going to tell
LA?
you the most thing I love about LA.
What?
The cost of living and the desire to like be in this industry pushed me to greatness that I would not have had if I stayed in Washington or if I lived in Atlanta. To be quite honest, if I had a comfortable home in Atlanta, I would not be pushed to think of new stuff. Keep your distance comedy probably doesn't happen if I live in Atlanta because I'm like, bro, I'm cool.
Right.
I'm chilling.
In Atlanta, they probably still are their clubs open?
Yeah, they're opening up.
Yeah,
and that's
clubs are
like
open.
the physical, the club's not being open in LA, but more the like, if I want to get a house you know, a super nice house out here, it's gonna take more. You know, and I don't never like do stuff to chase the money, but it does push me to be like, you know, like being inspired by friends in the industry, making it like seeing them. And then like literally watching people blow up and live their life, you know. It can be very inspiring to me, and that's probably one of the things I love the most about living in LA.
I can definitely agree with that because I know living back in Kentucky, sometimes you could see people, not to say there's anything wrong with just being content with a simple life, but it can be really hard to get competitive in your own career because you see everybody else seems to be just fine and chilling. That's the reason why I knew I couldn't move back because I would get depressed to being around that. I was like, y'all want to like travel the world and just be able to vacation in really dope spots because your money has earned you that, or you know. So I completely get that. I do. What do you love about it, babe? I got you mid burrito bite.
No.
I took 3 bites.
Wait a minute, did you just take a sip?
Kevin, I was jumping on this carrot.
Oh, was it spice?
Yes, way spicy. I took one bite and I was like, I'm just.
It's really flavorful and good,
but it is.
But the heat be sneaking in the back door.
My scalp is sweaty.
My left tongue.
What was that? The carrots?
The carrot.
I've never eaten the little things.
This is my favorite.
The fact that y'all knew what to do with it.
Oh man, this is where the flavor be.
But normally,
actually, that's the thing I love about LA. Premium Mexican food.
Yeah, you get the real Mexican food.
Real Mexican food.
Also be trash, but
Well, there's so many Mexican restaurants. They're not all great,
right.
But the ones that are good are out of this world.
Even the Mexicans be like, yeah, that's some good food over there.
Listen, my sister, who also lives in Kentucky, made me drive her around, and I kept trying to tell her that's not a Mexican thing. She wanted some blanc. She kept saying, I want some queso blanco cheese. I was like, first of all, quit saying cheese twice. And second of all, that is not an actual Mexican thing. And she was like, well, that's a little, that's different. That's a little sprinkle. She wanted the melted cheese that you
that's
to
actually
get from.
That's Chipotle.
Right. Yes.
Chipotle.
Yes. I was like, Melissa, that's not authentic. She's like, yes, I want the authentic.
Your sister's name is Melissa?
Yes.
It's my seal.
I didn't know that. That's the sister that you're the reason why she's a judge.
I remember this story.
She was like,
I don't think I know her name though.
Yeah, her name is Melissa. She told me recently, she said, make sure you remind Melissa that she be making people into judges. I said, I'll make sure I'll tell her. But anyways.
Which sister was twerking in that video?
That's my sister Daisy. She's right above her name. She's a pastor and
that little fake twerk had me dead. She was like, well, let me just take a little thing.
Yeah. He's like, this is all they're getting right now.
We didn't hear Marcus's answer though, because I thought about Mexican food.
Go ahead.
I keep saying something right after I take a bite. So, one thing I love about LA is similar to actually the same thing as Kevin. When I first moved to California, I was shocked at how many people my age were doing so many great things, and I was never exposed to that before. When I came out here, everybody was you had people publishing books and people trying to start their own shows, writing shows, just outside of the industry. People starting their own companies. I'm just like, you too young to be doing that. You my age. What do you mean What do you mean you did this? What do you mean you quit your job to start up your own company? Like, what?
Right.
And I still don't feel like, I mean, granted, I know a few people that are doing that back home, but not nearly on the scale as they are out here. And that was one of the things that inspired me. That's one of the things like, okay, this is real. I've been blind all of this time. And the hustle that everybody has, that's one thing. I didn't have that hustle when I left Kentucky. And now it's getting more and more built up in me. I think I don't know if I have it yet. I have more of it than what I used to have.
You definitely have more of it than what you
definitely do more than when I met you.
Look at you.
I met Marcus at the airport.
Yeah. How long ago?
A minute ago. I was on tour. Marcus came up. He did what black men don't do. He said, hey, man, I like your stuff. Nice to meet you. Big fan, like...
He was flying out Southwest.
Yeah. Terminal 1.
Terminal 1. I was working
I mean, black men do that. I don't want to come across bad. But he was like very... Like, sometimes we'd be like, all right, I see you. But Marcus was like, hey, I like your content, man. Respect what you're doing, man. Good to meet you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then I saw him later. I was like, weren't you at the airport? He was like,
one of the things I like is something that somebody told us when I first moved Marcus out here and we were looking for an apartment. This man said, if you can live in LA, you can retire anywhere.
Facts.
I always think about this all the time.
Facts.
He was just like, yeah, the cost of living is high, but if you figure out a way to make a living here, you can retire almost anywhere. He was like, yeah, you can have a big house in Kentucky and live it up, but that's the only place you're going to be able to retire at.
That's a good.
That is a great point.
Yeah.
I was like,
And that's facts.
yeah, I was
It's
like
so
that.
freaking expensive here, but we're talking about what we love.
Tell us what you love.
But that's the thing, like, no shade to any talent anywhere else. My friends, the talent here, they to me are the most talented people. Like watching Tony last night, I was like, me and Josh were like children. Like this guy is one of the best comedians working, unbiased.
Yeah.
Right? Angel, one of the funniest people ever. We live in Atlanta. That podcast doesn't happen.
Sure.
She lives here. She's trying to make it in this industry, you know, like prior to Zoom and stuff. I mean, COVID changed all that. But my network is here. My friends who I can hit up and be like, yo, shoot this, pull up, blah, blah, blah. Like, they all live here. If I go to Atlanta, it would take me a minute to get that reestablished. And I don't even know if it would be the same. You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely a hustle unmatched out here.
There is a hustle that is unmatched.
I also like the fact that I'm surrounded by so many. Granted, I would say my closest network of friends are Black, just because of the commonality of our upbringing. However, I have got to meet so many different people who have lived life different than me because of living out here. Where back home, I feel everybody everybody grew up the same. Like it was one kind of tone. Where here, I have a girlfriend who's Persian. I didn't even know Persian people still existed. Like, like this is not even, I promise you, I thought, biblically, yes. I didn't think that was still a thing. I knew Persian rugs still existed. Didn't know that
was making them.
Living spaces. I didn't know.
Living spaces.
So when she began to tell me about like in Armenian people, first of all, Persian culture, LA has the second largest population in the world.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
I heard that LA, Koreatown is the second largest population of Koreans outside of Korea.
Yes, exactly. So you're not going to get that other than maybe in New York.
Oh, that's great.
And maybe in San Fran. I don't know what that's like. But my son won't be like, you know, when you like a little country mouse and you go to a big city, you're like, oh my God, y'all got gays and y'all got like
wide-eyed and detail.
Right. But he won't experience that because he's experienced everyone's, which I think builds empathy. Because I know you talked about it, Kev. The person you were, the Christian you were prior to coming here is different than the Christian you are now.
Right.
And I feel the same about myself, is that being able to be around more people, one, helps me have more empathy and more compassion.
Here, this is smooth.
Zoom in. Oh, you already accepted?
I already had two.
Oh!
I told you, it's just beer.
I get that. Though.
I feel much more strongly about beer than
I get that.
I could probably take a sip of rubbing alcohol before I could take beer.
Well, that's what it looked like.
This smells amazing, by the way.
Melissa, you still haven't given one.
What do I enjoy about LA? I don't know that it necessarily has to do with LA, but I think it might be a piggyback off what kind of all of you have said, is that it's the first experience that it's a city that I chose. It's not the place that I grew up. It's not a place that I had friends when I moved here. And there's a different type of reaching peak adulthood in like finding a place to live. And you're kind of unfamiliar with the city. You don't really know what is in relation to what we're going to end up doing. Finding your own church, finding your own friends, because they're not the people that you went to school with and you just kind of stayed in contact with post high school or college or whatever. There's just something that, again, is just like peak adulthood. And LA just represents that growth and those wings kind of spreading on my own in terms of personal, but also as Marcus was alluding to, and on the business side, I wouldn't be an entrepreneur if I was still in Washington. Like
You
I
got
would
a really good job at Boeing, though.
child, I would be at Boeing to this day.
To this day.
To this day.
To
Like
this day.
trying to climb the corporate ladder, trying to be somebody's manager. Not actually, because ain't nobody flying nowhere. So that means the production line ain't going. But regardless, like I know that's what I would be doing. So the thought that I'm not affected by those things, and you have the opportunity to almost like flourish in the midst of this, and I don't mean that like disrespectfully or like insensitively, but those opportunities aren't presented to me the same if I was in Washington.
Were
I
you just
remember-
fabulous in Washington?
No, literally, let me pull up a picture. I'm gonna send it to you. So there's
Let's
literally
be on a whole different level, y'all.
I
Like she really
seriously,
do.
when I tell you,
Girl, no.
girl,
Girl, nah.
I pulled this picture. I look at my memories every single day because sometimes I used to post really cute things the boys would do, and it just is like, oh,
It
you
melts your
guys
heart
were
a little
little,
bit.
and
Yeah.
now you guys
Yeah, you
talk
know.
back. You drive me insane. So this picture is Joe was 1 turning 2 like the following week, and you can like zoom in on like the basicness.
You're so cute, though.
It's so basic.
Oh, you were a church
That
girl.
is church girl.
That is straight church girl.
It's so annoying. Like
Why are you mad at yourself in the past?
legitimately, I get upset when I look at myself then because, like, without a clue was a person, that would be this person.
You really felt like
Girl,
you were without a
I
clue?
just was without a single solitary clue. Just none of
You
them.
got to be proud of that person because that person made it to this person.
Agreed. And also, you had started learning makeup in some of your campaigns back in Washington. You don't think
No.
part of evolution would have happened even if you still would have been working at Boeing?
Wait, you merged two things, so I got
So, you said this girl was basic.
Uh-huh.
You didn't have makeup, you didn't have fashion or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But the Make Me Over campaign is something you started in Washington.
Uh-huh.
You don't think you would have continued on that path even if you would have stayed working at Boeing or living in
No,
Washington?
I started that before I moved into Washington, but the Melissa I just showed you is before that campaign.
What is the Make Me Over campaign?
So I went through when I was like 26, 27 years old. This is legitimately what happened. We're about to be off subject. Okay.
You think these people care?
Okay, I'm just saying. I just want to make sure because this can get real deep real quick.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so what happened was in real life, Kevin asked me to go out on a date. And we were married by this time, kids, whatever, the whole night, like legally married. And I've never told this story, Joshua?
I don't think so.
Oh. I had
Josh
to
ain't
go.
nowhere.
Josh-
I know, that's what I could tell. He did that's what I
Crossed his
did.
legs.
Please, say more. That's why I was like, I've never said this. So anyway, I go through my closet where he's like, okay, let's go out on this date, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. I go through my closet and I have button-ups, slacks, and church clothes. Who wants to go out on a date with their husband? Mind you, I'm like 26 years old. And I literally, because I was working at the bank at the time, I literally just have button-ups, slacks, and church clothes. Like that is so boring and not what you would imagine a 26-year-old having in their closet. And I was like in tears. Do you remember this?
Yep.
I was like in
I don't remember you
tears.
being in tears, but I remember you being frustrated
I
that you
was
didn't have
so
the clothes.
frustrated. I was crying. It was like a whole situation.
I was like, girl, it's just clothes.
And the thing about it, because it represented so much more, like from that, it wasn't even like I was like, okay, so what I'm gonna do is overhaul my wardrobe because nothing's ever that easy for Melissa. She always has to be super deep. So I went and like reflected on like my life, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes. And so what came of that was not just like the clothes. It was like, you don't even feel worth or worthy or deserving of buying the clothes, of getting dressed, of looking nice, of fixing your hair, of like, you don't even do those things on a normal basis. And so just to think that it's a Saturday, you're just magically gonna have this wardrobe of sexy, nice clothes for your husband, girl, what? That was never gonna happen. And so I went through this like, I called them campaigns, but they were like these phases of my life where I was training myself to look at myself differently. And so the first one was you're worthy, or you're worth it, as is, without change, without exceptions. Literally the mantra that I created for myself. And I would say that to myself out loud, like every single day for like months.
Okay.
And then from there, I went into okay, now that you believe that, make the outside look like how you feel on the inside. And so I went out and was buying all these clothes and telling myself, like, you don't have to go to the clearance rack. Like, if you have the money and you're being financially responsible, you can buy things that aren't on sale. So I did that, like literally.
Wow.
Because for your kids, you'll buy the Jordans. And for you, you'll go to the clearance, right?
Right.
And so that's what I was doing. So I was like, okay, Melissa, you're worth it. Then from there, I went on a Love On campaign because I struggle with like really liking the person that I saw in the mirror. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pick one physical feature about myself that I really like and love on that feature. And I decided I liked my eyes.
I remember you telling me this when we did the makeup tutorial.
Yes. And so that's what got me on the makeup thing. And then I did a Sex Me Over campaign where I was just like, okay, so...
The one that can't pause with the smile.
I was waiting for her to get to this.
that was the last one. That was the last one where I was basically like, okay, girl, you need to like figure out and own. This has honestly been an evolution since that time. Like it's really evolved since then. But I've turned it into this idea of like learning about my own body. By this time I had Isaiah, I had Joe, I had them C-sections. Okay, listen, when you have a C-section, girl, you'd be like, hi, Dr. So-and-so, I'm gonna put you to sleep and start shaving you and open you up and doing all this. And you're like, I haven't even touched and looked down there. Like, I don't understand.
Right.
It's okay for you to do this and you're a stranger.
Right.
And that really like bothered me that I wasn't comfortable with myself that way. But like, I've had this doctor that I just met yesterday. Like, this doesn't make sense.
The doctor's just like,
Literally.
hey!
Right.
For real. And I had emergency C-section, so it wasn't even like the doctor that I had knew
Right.
Oh, wow.
for 8 months.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it was a new person.
It
was.
So anyway, that was like the whole... I tried to do it quickly, but that was like my whole like campaign.
Take your time,
that I
girl.
went on.
we mukbang.
Yeah, we might brother. So
Yeah.
wait a minute. How did you know to start a campaign?
I just called them that.
Yeah, but like, wow.
I don't even know. I really don't even know. I don't know. I just believe that if I told myself enough, I would eventually believe it.
No, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that like self-talk
Self-talk
is a huge thing in trying to reprogram yourself, especially when it comes to self-love. It's like you got to feed yourself. But like when you say campaign though, that's like a whole nother level. Like churches do campaigns to raise money to build new. That's like what it feels like. That's heavy duty.
It was. I need, and maybe low-key sometimes I would say almost argue. I'm still like that. I need these like grand gestures for me to like latch onto, so they feel like something I can do, and not just like a small thought that I have that's like nothing and I can dismiss it and it's no big deal. But to like tell myself I'm doing this. This is a campaign. This is something you're gonna do every single day. Something you're gonna be aware of and you're gonna be conscious and intentional about. It makes it a little like I can get revved up for that.
Oh, that's what makes you a good producer. That's what that is.
Oh, tell me more.
That's why you have that
I
brand
missed
today.
it.
No, that's
Tell me
what that
more.
makes sense. Like the fact that what drives you is the big picture, and seeing that big picture through. That low key is like the thing that will make a producer really good. Is someone who can see the big picture and then execute everything that needs to happen to get, or at least know what needs to be executed in order for that to happen. So no, that all makes sense. And as Kevin was saying, even with your branding overhaul, like
It was a production.
that's what. Listen, I
It was
saw
like being on set regular with art dressers and we had no craft.
all of them.
I almost bought Crafty though. I ain't gonna lie to
You meant to.
but I ran out of time.
Yeah. Let me get this one.
From the place.
Let me get one. Man, I didn't get to taste it.
Oh, get in there.
Marcus doing all this and this, that, and the third.
I told y'all I ordered a bunch of stuff. Get another one because they good. They real
Watch
good.
it. Watch
Get in
it.
there.
Watch it.
They real good.
I'm talking about two. Was it good?
Oh, I was waiting for you to say
I
something.
didn't
No.
I was like, is
It's
that
really good.
Cheers? This is
He said what? He was just chewing. I
Have
was
y'all
like,
been to
maybe
Sky's
that's good.
Tacos?
No, we don't be ever getting to try nothing. Marcus.
Okay, Sky's Tacos is way down by the Comedy Union.
Oh,
And they got
yeah.
some trip tacos that got good like this. That is
This
great.
is good sauce.
That's their best thing on this whole thing.
Yeah, I haven't had anything.
Angel was quietly eating 6 shrimp over there.
Oh, yeah. I had a
Say
feeling.
nothing. I was looking at it like that's
Listen.
about something to what ain't.
And listen, and I got more shrimp over here, and I'm just going to put them in that sauce.
Yeah,
Yeah, throw them in that sauce.
Put everything in that
That's
sauce.
Throw them in that sauce.
The
Yeah,
chicken
all
is
of
out,
them.
not of course.
Throw them in that sauce.
I know the chicken ain't that.
This is school lunch chicken right here.
Yeah, I saw it.
Is
I was
it?
like, it's not
Yeah.
cute. You gotta put that on bread or
It's not
something.
cute.
So what else? What else do
Who's
you
the-
feel like you would not have accomplished in your time other than business wise? Do you feel like anything like, I know for us, the blessing of living in LA was that it allowed us to develop our marriage outside of the influence of the people that were closest to us.
Oh, it had 100% agree.
That is so key.
I remember we felt so lost here at first because I don't think it really clicked that grocery stores are all regional until we got here and we couldn't find Safeway or Fred Meyer's.
It's Vons, essentially.
Yeah, literally Vons is the same thing, but we didn't know that at first. We found out Albertsons later, but Ralph's is everything.
Yeah.
Right? And we were like, oh man, Ralph's was just feeling like a whole new world.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? It was just like soup. That first week, man.
That was us Kroger's.
Oh, it was
Ralph's,
so weird.
Kroger's, Albertsons, they all the same restaurant. I mean,
Yeah,
all the same grocery store.
yeah.
But the first week was hard.
The first week, I remember we had gone to a Target. Our first day, I think we had forgotten toilet tissue at our apartment or something like that, and this city felt so unfamiliar. I mean, because like she was saying, we had moved around a lot, but that was your parents saying this is where we live. They always seemed to know where the church was, where the grocery store was, you know.
Right.
And also on base, most bases have the same thing. Every base has a, you know, they have AFEs, which is the commissary and the PX and the shop at. So even if you move around a lot, it's a sense of familiarity because all these things are the same.
Yeah.
We came to LA, freeways different, people different, the grocery stores are different. We didn't have no church to go to. It's just me, her, and the boys. And the boys are like, we're little.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And none of our friends had moved. My brother eventually moved, and so did Aunt. But those first couple months, it was just me and Lish.
Wait a minute, they lived out here?
Yeah, Jay and Aunt moved out here. Jay had lived in Pomona. And Aunt lived...
Wait a minute, when did y'all move out here?
We moved out in March
2013.
I bet myself that I could get here before I turned 30. And I got here like 2 months before I turned 30. But I still won the bet with myself, but I didn't pay myself because we were out of money.
I still want to find this picture. I don't think y'all have moved down here. You, Aunt, and Jason came to the Merge Summit to speak on a panel. That's when I first met you guys.
wow.
It was a picture of, it was those three and then me, Brescia, and my girlfriend, Denora. Because I remember you all, at the time, they were still, like Issa had already was already picking up steam, but there was still a lot of space left for people creating sketches or web series. And y'all were one of the only, that's all he cares about right now is these shrimp. Y'all were one of the only few that I knew that were like consistently creating content out there. And I was like, yeah, they're funny. They're funny people. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they're funny. But anyways, how old were y'all when y'all moved out here?
30. Turning 30.
29 finna be 30.
Oh yeah, we were so much younger and very stupid, but we also didn't have kids, so we could be.
All your kids were born here?
Yes. Because we didn't get married until after he moved out here.
Yeah, we flew back.
We flew back and got married because I was like, people were like, are you gonna get married out here? I said, for what? To pay all this money and then my people ain't got no money to fly out here and stay in a hotel.
We can have something extravagant for a percentage of that in Kentucky.
So it is weird having my kids not grow up around their cousins, their aunts.
Oh,
it's very.
I miss that probably the most. When we lived in Washington, Monique had 2 kids our age, or
3 by the time.
Three by the time we left.
Who's Monique?
My sister.
Okay.
Her next sister.
My
brother had
7
kids, all our age. Our people from high school and college had kids, so how we were at my house and the birthday thing, it was just that environment. But it was all family. Yeah. So you didn't even need to invite anybody outside of your family and friends to have a full birthday party.
Right.
And it wasn't even really no like invitation. It was just like, okay, JoJo's on 19th, Chuck E. Cheese or Kev's house. Okay.
Yeah.
Mariah's birthday, my niece's birthday is like 5 days from mine. We always share birthdays. Get all the kids over here. Y'all celebrating my birthday. Adults, we celebrating Kev's. You know what I mean? So, and it was probably 5 years when the boys were really young. We didn't have no money to visit no one. We couldn't visit neither of our parents. So we kind of grew into adults a little more when Melissa and Tam, Jay's wife, started cooking Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. Then it was like, damn, once you the one cooking dinner, you was the mom.
Right.
You was the mom. If you make the ham and stuff, you know, so we had our own little traditions. My brother would always get Popeye's fried turkey. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. And then we moved to LA, that abruptly ended. Yeah. So Christmas, it's kind of how we fell into a family tradition of leaving LA on Christmas. I remember the first Christmas, it was getting close to Christmas and we didn't have no money to get back to Washington or to anywhere far. And Melissa was just like, I cannot be in the city with no Christmas. So we went to Las Vegas and we stayed in a circus because in my mind it was going to be still as dope as it was when I was 6. Yeah. And that thing has changed. Because I was tripping because the rooms were like, no lie, $23.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And we were like, $23?
You're like, how can we pay
we can do the manor. When we got there, we were like, these should be $2. I mean, the hotel, they shoved us in the room.
Y'all should be paying us to stay here.
They closed down Circus not long after.
Did they?
Yeah, and they closed?
I thought so.
No, I think
maybe they're renovated.
They closed that part.
Okay, that
where
was,
we stayed.
yeah.
You can't get the manor no more. I think they were doing a different type of circus. There had nothing to do with gambling. It was gambling with balls.
Oh yeah.
But so we just never felt like. Actually, we've never spent a full Christmas in LA, have we?
No.
Last year was our first Christmas in LA.
Really? See, we're not different.
We have always gone back to Kentucky, and then when we kept adding children to our, thing, to like
it was like $2,500 just on not the rental, nothing.
That's why we had to stop flying. My mom was like, "Can y'all come?" I was like, "Mom, it is like." It was like $3, because they go crazy on Thanksgiving prices. I was like, Mom, it's like $3,000. Girl,
I told my family, I said, y'all want to say y'all need to throw a fish fry all summer
to pay for us to
like
come
every weekend. Pay for it. We'll be there.
It was outrageous.
I'm gonna tell you what. I was a little worried because I didn't think it would feel like Christmas. So we did a little extra, like we bought a real Christmas tree this year instead of the artificial ones. His mother and brother flew out, and my mom was already here. It was
dope. My brother surprised me. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell nobody. First he said it, then he was like, "Oh yeah, I can't because of work." I'm like, "But you already said." I was like, "All right, whatever. They suck." Then I'm sitting there. I think I was preparing the turkeys or something. I always fry 2 turkeys. See,
you fry turkey?
Yeah, that's what we do for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We fry turkeys for Thanksgiving, but
what was I doing?
I don't know what the heck you were doing.
I don't know. I was doing one of the traditions that we do, and I looked and I was like, "This big dude is about to get shot." Like Amazon, they got bold, but somebody dude was like knocking on my front window. I'm like,
"You're like, can't wait to use the knife."
I wasn't a knife. He was gonna get one. He was gonna get that heat. And I'm looking and I see this big smile.
I thought he was about to say C-130, but I was like, "That's a plane."
Yeah.
It is a plane. Of course you know that. No, but it was my brother or whatever, so he flew out. He surprised. So that was fun, and then like my mom didn't know he was coming out either. So like last year was like, all right, this is dope.
Yeah, it was nice to have everybody come to us because I was really worried, and even my kids enjoyed the tradition of getting on the plane, going back, and then the possibility of seeing snow. I didn't even realize until I don't know.
First Christmas without snow.
Like that, our son. That's the only time he gets to see snow. Like, because I grew up with snow, I was just like, oh, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal to me.
That's actually why we wanted to leave the first year.
Remember last year?
I don't like snow, but I was like, I don't want to be here. Holiday. And it's 70 degrees.
You did say that.
And it's sunny, and we don't have friends here, and it doesn't feel like Christmas. That's dumb. Let's leave.
Last year, our boys were like, because we went on tour last year. Not stand-up comedy tour. We went on a family tour. We visited her mom, her dad, my parents, who all live within 5 hours of each other, but like everybody gets 2 or 3 days. And remember asking the boys, like, what do y'all think about this? They were like, we love our cousins and stuff, but they can't ever come to our house.
Right.
We always got,
it's a lot.
because we be the ones like, and you know, man, going to LAX
is a pain.
We had to walk
I remember y'all's IG stories.
Angel
coming from like Sepulveda walking.
We walked from the Doggone In and Out over there.
Yeah.
Because we were never going to make it.
Yeah.
At that. And we left 3.5 hours early.
We did leave early enough.
And we were never going to make it.
Y'all could have hit me up because I parked right there.
No, there was no driving through. The traffic was stopped.
Oh, it was, traffic.
Yeah, it was stupid.
So, Marcus can make y'all a turkey?
Yeah, I love fried turkey.
I always do 2 different flavors.
Cajun and what?
He said Cajun and what? He's like,
So,
long as one is
I
Cajun.
just assumed one was
I do
Cajun.
like maple and apple.
Oh.
I'm not as interested anymore. I thought at least one was Cajun.
Because you trying to
Cajun
recreate
was
the Popeye's chicken.
That's what it
Popeye's
was.
That is
turkey.
not. Don't you ever come to me about no restaurant fried turkey.
Have you
All
had
this is real
Popeyes?
fried turkey.
Have you
right
had
here.
Popeyes?
You
I don't
ain't
need
eaten
it.
fried
You don't.
Popeyes
You
forever.
don't even have it. Popeyes just seasons the turkey. You fry it yourself,
It's
Oh.
fun.
so it has a good Cajun flavor. That's what I'm saying. But I'll try your maple apple wood smoked
No,
turkey.
nope, no.
Maple Applewood
Go to
smoked.
Popeyes, get your little raggedy turkey.
It's a little raggedy turkey.
I remember thinking, you said this, and I just want to double back because it's Melissa and I don't think we mature as much if we stay in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
grew up
true.
under our parents and our pastors and our leaders, and it
Yeah.
was always somebody that we was
Over you.
over us, and we were looking for their approval in so many ways. All this stuff, right? When we came to LA, it was like, what church do we want to go to? We had never had the let's
Right.
try. We literally, I remember us being like, well, what are we looking for in a church? Like, what's the most important thing to us?
Yeah.
You know, like, because that,
It's up to you, man.
I didn't want to be as strong as Marcus, but I'm not as strong as him. I don't want to appear stronger than I am. And I remember us having to have conversations about, well, what do we like? Because we was going, because the black churches are far. Well, all we knew was like Noel Jones and
Right.
McClendon, and that going wasn't so bad. But by the time church was out, LA was awake. So it was like sometimes hour and a half, 2 hour drive back, and we were like, we can't do that. The valley to Gardena is, because to
It's
then get up and
crazy.
do that
Yes, it
again, because the boys, I had the staff meeting for Awesomeness. I was like, bruh, there's got to be a good church in the valley. We went to Mark Jackson's church for a while. The commentator, the basketball coach, he had a church right in Reseda. It's closed now, but we went there for a little bit just because out of sheer
It was close.
close. That's why we started going to the white church, because we were like, bro, we gotta find a
Yeah,
church.
We went to
Right.
Noel Jones for a while.
Yeah.
And then that's how we ended up seeing Tisha Cole sing. Because
Keisha-
we were.
Keisha-
he called
Did
her
y'all have
Tisha.
y'all always lived in this
Wait,
area?
who?
Yeah.
Keisha Cole.
We-
But he called her Tisha.
Oh, I was like,
Tisha
Tisha.
Cole.
We literally.
We have not changed area codes.
Literally.
Zip codes.
Zip code. We have been in.
Stop it. We
We have
have.
been in the same zip code since we've been out here. Like,
Oh,
it's
really?
Not changed. Not on purpose.
I've never had any desire
No.
to live in the hills of LA
Oh, no.
of any
We've been trying to
version.
get away from the area we're in. Like, that
Yeah,
bold, we
deeper
like,
into the
let's
valley
get
is
us
what we were
further
trying
in
to
here.
do. And it just has never happened. Like everybody who's like, you don't want to live like on the west side or in Santa Monica.
Oh no!
Hell no.
I hate it.
No, one thing that annoys me, I can't stand to go to somebody's house and have to struggle
The park.
Oh,
That
my.
drives me. I'm like, I won't come.
It's so inconsiderate. I feel like it's so inconsiderate.
It really
so you
is.
invite people over and you don't
And
have
not
parking.
just them.
So
If you live in the hills and I got a loop de loop
Oh.
Yes.
de loop de loop
Just to get to your spot.
to get to your
Yes.
house.
Yeah.
Just
What
to have
gas
nowhere
that
to
is?
park.
Just to have
$30 worth of gas I just
and
used
don't
up.
whip a corner too fast
Oh, you
and let
about to
someone
die.
else come this
Yeah.
way.
Because
Then
the
all of a
roads are
sudden,
this wide.
exactly.
But we're talking about why we love it. We are. But I will say, you know what, to piggyback off of something you said last Mukbang, is that I love that the churches do understand that we have lives outside of church.
Oh my!
I would have never been able to sing on the choir back
Angel.
home or the praise team with the schedule that I have now.
Yep.
Angel, we would have been excommunicated.
Come on.
Talked about. So when I was on tour, we were gone for like 8
9
months of
months.
Sundays.
Yeah.
9 months of Sundays.
But they got
Even when we didn't have a show, if you're flying back, we weren't even getting back. Like,
Yeah.
just if we went straight from the church to the airport to the church, we still wouldn't have got there in time.
Mm-hmm.
And our pastor, you know, and first lady are in the industry,
Right.
so they're not tripping
They
about
understand.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another whole thing that.
Yeah, my people, I'd be like, I got a comedy show on Thursday night. That would be a choir rehearsal. They'd be like, okay, we'll have somebody record the part. We'll see
Oh,
you
yeah.
on Sunday. I'm
Yeah.
like, Thank you. Where back home we would have 3-hour choir rehearsals. Like what singing
They would have a meeting on you.
Y'all been singing them songs, for 15, 20 years. Your grandmother sung them songs, you know.
You got to be at choir rehearsal, you got to be at Bible study, and you got to be at all the services. And
all the services.
I say it all the time, man. Y'all wear God out.
Marcus didn't grow up in the same type of church that we grew up in.
He said, y'all wear God out?
Yeah.
I be like, God dang, y'all fools again. Leave me alone.
Marcus, you feeling good?
Marcus, I was about to call you Greg because that's how much you're reminding me of Greg right now. Did you have Tyrion Service at your church?
He grew up a Methodist.
Oh, yeah, they want to remember that.
So
we were literally telling Greg about Terry because I did that joke last night, and Greg was like, "Was you making that up?" I was like, "Greg,
he didn't know.
That might have been the most least exaggerated story I've ever told."
Well, how did Greg grow up? Did he not grow up in church?
He grew up in a white church,
like a super old,
like a not even like a Protestant.
Yeah, it was
church.
So come on, it's kind of like yes. But he was
black. Singing hymnals and stuff.
Yeah, we sang
yes. Like the people singing
200-year-old hymn.
Yeah, that's how great
that is. So
this
listen, Marcus's brother, when he came out, he decided to come. I didn't think either one of them were gonna come to church. I had to go. I had to sing at church.
He came out to LA. He came out as gay.
Not of the.
I
forgot we
I needed the clarity.
You can see Angel being like, "Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and clear,
let
that up."
I said he came out.
What? What do you mean?
I needed more
context. It was crazy because my brother lived out here he was in the Navy.
He lived in San Diego though, right?
He was in San Diego, as he calls it, 1,000 Oaks. He does have to piss me off. And somewhere else I can't remember, but it was all bases and stuff. But he was all over. He was down in comedy. He told me some stories.
Of course he did. Well, his brother, when he flew out here, they came to. He came to church, and our church is a charismatic church, more closer to how I grew up. And so there was a prayer part where I think the pastor's wife, somebody started speaking in tongues.
Nah, right? It was there was that one lady that just sounds like she is speaking another language, but she always has somebody translating for her. Like this woman, she'll just start in the middle of pastor be preaching.
She's not having somebody translate for her. Somebody eventually gets
up. Yeah, somebody will start translating.
Says,
but she'll interrupt the entire
service. As an interpretation of tongues or interpretation because she's speaking a different language?
No,
interpretation of tongues.
Okay.
Like she will literally interrupt service. Interrupt service and just start going.
Not all the time, but
not all the time. No. But it happened when
it happened when he was there. And then after service, we're out to eat, and I don't know who asked him, like, so what you think of church? He said, I liked it a lot. It was really motivational. Like, it really like kind of like gives you inspiration for the day. I'm not used to that. He said, now the only part is I didn't understand what that one woman was saying. Was she speaking a different language or something?
What language was that?
And I forget because I've been so surrounded most of my life by people who know what that is, that are shunda, all that stuff. That's not how they grew up.
Right.
No.
So like
we have people do it, but it would just be the shock, like, you know how y'all just do it. I'm short on the boat, so whatever y'all do. Yeah. That's it. That's all you get. This woman will go for like 5 minutes straight.
Oh yeah.
Like nonstop, wherever the pastor will stop and everybody just like.
We're gonna wait and see what the Lord say. Yeah. So that was definitely like, oh, I forgot that everybody didn't grow up that way.
Yeah.
Everybody.
You realize that when you say we grew up saved or I'm saved or whatever, and people be like,
what does that mean?
What does that mean? What are you saved from?
Right.
Yeah, y'all are 9
I posted that video about me.
9-hour people. That's how long
9
y'all
out.
in church.
Yes.
Yes.
They ain't that. Well, you guys, we really didn't tell you.
Get back around to my next. I thought I
was
Marcus.
Get around to it, Marcus.
Y'all went all deep. Mine ain't as deep.
What is it? The weather?
You said yours.
The cars?
Oh, the
Maserati.
I can't believe we didn't bring up the weather.
Weather. Hold on. Let me finish the car because the weather's a bigger thing.
That's
such
an obvious thing.
I'm a car whore. A lot of people know it. So I got on you got to edit that out?
No.
There's no. So I got a lot of text groups and actually one main one was me, a bunch of friends from back home. We always just texting each other pictures of cars and stuff that we see on the road.
I'm going to let you finish. But men's text groups be the wackest, wildest text messages.
You ain't even in there. No one is fun for us.
She's like, it's
cars.
cars.
It's fun for us.
It's cars.
It's so dry.
If
it ain't dry to us.
Girl, look at this new color.
We don't
Girl,
do
this
that.
color's fire. Nobody care about that rust color.
do that.
I screenshot things to my sister. Did you see what so and so said?
Yes, we be on the T.
We ain't on the T because we ain't.
That's why it's dry.
Y'all of the devil.
No,
so anyway, they'll take pictures of cars, and it's like I see the difference because of stuff that they'll send is like, oh, that's dope. And they'll send it. I'm like, yeah, but I see it all the time because it's a car culture in Kentucky, but not like it is out here. Like here, people will fix them up and make them look pristine. To where back home it's like they'll make it a beast, meaning it'll be like real fast, but it won't have a paint job. It won't have the knickknacks.
Listen, you the one that been
I've been
right.
on
Go
one today.
ahead. Yes.
Yeah, bourbon. Basil Hayden.
He said the
Make
Knicks.
your weekend great. Drink responsibly. Basil Hayden. Nah,
the Knicks snacks.
Y'all heard him
on his tongue.
hopscotch. He hopscotch over that one word earlier.
Yeah, I did. It carried. It hit me late, but it got me. No, so but yeah, seeing the type of cars that I see is like I get to send that to them. It's like, who's this? Where's this at? I'm just sitting in traffic on the 405.
Bruh.
And it's like, and that's one thing that I can appreciate. Actually, when I first moved out here, people always complain about the traffic, including Angel. A lot of times, I was just sitting in the car with her. I was always entertained. The traffic never bothered me because I'm just like, look at all these guys. There goes a Maserati.
Yeah.
Quadruple right there. There goes a Lamborghini. You never see this.
I've
There's
seen
a
cars-
67 Cadillac. That's dope.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you
that's
see
one
cars
thing.
like that every
single
I've seen
day.
them. One day I saw 3 in a row when I was at the grocery store.
Yeah.
What was the first one? It was
You stay out of this.
was it,
business.
I was gonna
oh,
try.
a Ferrari? No, it was a Lamborghini.
There's a whole-
Ferrari and then a McLaren.
There's a lot of those three out here. Like people just like, oh, it's a exotic car. It's this, it's that.
Yeah.
You never see those. That's like Corollas. Everybody got them out here. It's like I don't know
Especially in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Yeah, in Beverly
Oh my
Hills,
God.
you're gonna get it. Even in Encino.
And
the Bentley
Yes.
SUV. I see so many. I'm like, who is spending $250,000?
We put them
We
on
have
set a couple weeks
billionaires
ago.
out
They
here.
had a Rolls Royce coupe.
He sure did.
Regular person.
It was nice.
Ooh, I seen a new one
Yeah.
Friday. The brand new one. I think it come out next year.
Man,
It was so clean.
I seen Justin Bieber in a Fisker Karma when Zay was shooting a movie. I had never even seen this. I was like, that's Justin Bieber.
But actually, very.
I don't even know what this car is. I had to
Fisker
Google
Karma,
it.
they dope.
Yeah, I had to take a picture of
Got
it.
a Fisker Karma.
That
Huh?
sound like a cat food.
I
Why
was
you
like,
got-
what is that?
We're hating on our
Listen,
conversation.
Listen.
But the old schools is what I'm here for too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those. It's like an old school culture out here. Everybody, it's so dope. But that's one thing I absolutely love about LA.
And yes,
Weather.
the weather. The weather is good.
Our
but that's
winter is 70 degrees,
Yes.
clear
It's
skies.
good.
It gets
Oh
boring.
no, we're talking about
actually.
things we like.
She was getting ready to tear that thing
You about to
down.
say in wintertime it don't feel like winter?
Yes.
It has like a 2-week rain period in February usually
Yeah.
too. February, March.
I'm actually with you. I enjoy winter.
I
enjoy the
just
winter
enjoy
clothes.
4 seasons.
Yes.
I just
I
enjoy
don't.
4
You
seasons.
can keep winter. I don't ever need to
you
see
can-
it.
Well,
Keep
okay,
winter.
okay, let me be
Overrated.
clear. Hold on, let me be clear. Except for the snow.
I can do
I don't
that.
like
I
cold
do
either.
enjoy 4 seasons because I do like winter clothes, but I don't want to be in snow. Snow is reckless.
Give me that snow.
I wear the winter
Let's go
clothes,
to Big
but
Bang.
I don't want the. I don't
You can't
want,
even halfway
We
wear
went to
it.
Bigger one
It could be
time.
the. I
We went for
don't
my
mind
birthday
like
one time.
it's more like fall clothes. I don't really need winter clothes.
Mm.
It's the winter ain't good for my hair.
I like
So-
fall too.
Yeah,
I like
fall.
fall.
I like fall the most after summer and spring.
I can keep summer and spring
Yeah.
and not see any of the rest
When
of
we
the
get
things.
4 seasons in Kentucky, though, winter be too long.
Oh,
Because it's
that's
winter and then it rains
Yeah.
nonstop until like July.
And it's still rain in July. Be
it
hot
rains
rain.
so much in Washington, you just be like,
Yeah, and that's why it gets so depressing because it's always gray for so long. We get what, the June gloom out here? Where it's
Yeah.
like gloomy literally the entire month of June.
Yeah.
And then July comes and it's
And
back to
that's it.
clear
Well, y'all
skies.
in
It
Seattle?
actually gets boring.
we were
In
in college in
Tacoma.
Seattle. We lived in Tacoma the most.
I hate Seattle.
Okay.
We
Tell
could
us
do a
more.
whole video on
Angel,
that.
Why?
Angel had me ready to go to Seattle and just start
Every
smacking
visit,
people.
every visit I went, it just kept getting worse. It like the first visit was okay. I was in a
Listen,
theater festival. That was fine. Didn't really want to be there. Second time, it's just the people were crabby.
In Seattle?
Yes,
Crabby,
I
crabby.
remember there was I thought I was going to have to slap my taxi driver in the face.
In the face.
In the face. He was like, "Just give me my tip."
Oh no.
Oh no.
The story that
Yes.
you told me after she got out of the taxi, I was like, oh, I wish I was there
Were you
so
doing
bad.
theater up there?
That time I was doing like a YouTube festival. It was like Vlogger Fair, and he was just like, "Just give me my money. Just give me my tip."
Oh.
Was that a lot of occurrences, or you just had that one bad experience?
It was a different occurrences on different experience. Like I also like I had the twins. So the Ubers there are the little itty bitty Priuses.
Oh my God.
How the heck I'm gonna get to my hotel
Literally.
in this little itty bitty thing?
We were in the airport one time. We were on tour in Seattle. There was literally like 95 every
All of them.
freaking car.
It is a
was
bunch
a
of
Prius.
Priuses.
I was like, enough.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is a bunch of
I
Priuses.
said, now, so how am I gonna get? How we like squeezing? Just the stroller alone took up the whole trunk.
It sure does.
Oh yeah.
But
And
anyway.
you got twins too?
And I got two of them.
Yeah.
2 kids, and my mama was with me to help me. It's just too much. But you know what? We're here to talk about that. We love LA. We live in here. We ain't going nowhere. I know Melissa's trying to escape. She ain't getting to go nowhere.
I'm looking forward to retirement.
Yeah.
Where you gonna go to Hilton Head, South Carolina?
No, I do enjoy a big city. I just also enjoy a big city that allows my money and my house to be reflective. That's my.
I just
only
means
issue.
I need to get my money up.
I know.
So
Eventually, your house, one day, your house
Got
will be
my money
reflective,
up.
and you ain't gonna be able to say nothing.
You sure ain't.
Ain't gonna be able to say
Cause my
nothing.
wife is sitting outside.
Cause who did what?
Lamborghini trucks. Y'all ain't even seen it.
All right, guys. Thank you all for
Should we
watching.
ask them for what we should talk about in future videos, or do
That's
you want
perfect.
to do?
Yeah,
No,
you
that's
want-
perfect, Kev. And not to say that
Absolutely.
I'm going to absolutely pay attention, but you
Let
all
us know.
might have a really good idea that I do want to do. So
I wanted
please.
to talk about the big leap.
Talk about butt stuff.
Actually, it's gonna be old by the time we talk
No,
about
it ain't.
stuff.
Big
Oh.
Leap ain't gonna get old because we leaping. We leaping.
We're
Forever.
leaping
So,
on the jet
but if you
plane.
have any other suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Again, thank you all so much for watching us. We hope that you are enjoying the Married at First Sight, reviews that we're doing on Mrs. Kev on Stage's YouTube. Going over there and check it out. The episode is probably already up. That
Last
we just
time, I
did.
think you beat me to it.
I don't think so. I think we did it at the same time.
Oh,
It was the same day.
it was the
something-
same day, but
it was something. As always, you can check out me and Kev on Here's the Thing, and you can check out all 18 million
I'm
of his
so tired, guys.
stuff. October 9th, Ladies Night Show. Use the promo code ANGEL for $3 off. Marcus, he's here. He's going to be doing something eventually with Kev.
We are.
We're getting in, y'all.
We need a name for our stuff. Just the bald.
No,
No.
that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
We'll
I
come
agree.
up with something.
Beard Brothers.
Oh,
One guy has a knife.
like,
All right.
subscribe, and share. Talk to y'all later.
Y'all
Bye.
Smash that like button.
That chick angel.